What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Bullshot Darts. In this one, we got a little match Monday here. This is the King Seat match of the Pro-Am event at Shark Tank. Me and Dustin Holt against Jeremy Byrne and Elliot Milk. And I just want to say thank you so much to USA Darts because they streamed this event, so that's why this is possible for me to even make this video going over this match. So if you do not follow USA Darts, make sure you go check them out on YouTube, Facebook. Give them a thumbs up and support them over there because they do streaming service or dart streaming events all year round all over the country. So what they're doing for the sport is incredible. So make sure you give them a follow. And also I want to give another big shout out here to Jeremy Byrne, the guy that I'm playing against there. You can see him with the Booyah shirt back there. Jeremy is the owner of Bullshot Darts up in Wisconsin, and what he's doing for the sport up there is just absolutely incredible. I love whenever I'm able to go to an event up there and be a part of what he's doing because it's so awesome. If you don't know what the Booyah Cup or the Booyah Cup is, make sure you check that out because it's actually a tournament where there's qualifiers, and you can play these qualifiers from wherever you are, and because it's all remote. And then there's a big grand finale in March where it's just a big tournament in March. So if you are not familiar with that, make sure you check it out. Play these qualifiers. A lot of big names play these. So even if you don't win, you're going to get the experience. And also you also have that opportunity to actually qualify. And then you could come up to Wisconsin and play in the finals, which would be exciting. So big shout out to USA Darts and Jeremy Byrne with Booyah Cup or Booyah Darts. And he also has the Booyah Cup. So me and Dustin here coming into this match, we've been shooting pretty well. I absolutely love Dustin. I met him for the first time a couple years ago, and I just love his energy. He's just always so positive, likes to have fun, laugh, which, you know, that's what I'm all about too. So I've always wanted to play doubles, and when this event popped up, I was like, this is a perfect opportunity to play doubles together. So really excited for this, and this is the king seat here. Now it's funny because for this tournament, we would always, well, Dustin was our driver, so he did all the corking, and for the most part, he would win every single cork. We would win the first game of 501, then we would throw bad in cricket, and then Dustin would win the cork. We would play cricket, then redeem ourselves for our cricket game. So I think we were calling ourselves like Team Game 2 or Team Game 3 or something because it happened almost every single match, that pattern there. So let's see how it plays out in this one here. So Dustin did get the cork, and we're playing 501 here. This is a full bowl open out event, so that means the single bowl and the double bowl is all worth 50. You do not have to hit a double to go out in this format or in this event, so makes it interesting because the games go by pretty quick. So it looks like I'm coming up here with a 138 now. Traditionally, we would be throwing at that triple 20, but since this is a full bowl, I'm going to throw at those bullseyes and try to hit that double 19 for the win. So I get the first bowl, I get the second bowl, and hey, I got the double 19. This tournament was so long ago, I don't really remember what happened, so I'm actually excited to rewatch this with you guys and just do some commentary here. But so a 138 out right there, and just like I said, we would throw so well the first game of 501. Then, oh, Will must have said something there. I pointed at the screen and laughed. I don't know what happened there, but
just decent action.
So, like I said, then we would come out and throw bad in cricket. So, let's see what happens here. I am not familiar with soft tips, so I would always mess up setting up this stupid board. I just need to take the time and play with a bull shooter board and figure this thing out because, man, these guys that like play soft tip a lot, they're just like so quick on those buttons and the game's loaded, ready to go. But so let's see how this plays out here. Me and Dustin are back here, so you can see us kind of back there laughing right now. We're probably talking about the fact how we always choke in game 2. So we're probably like, hey, let's break the streak and just win this 2-0. Let's see what happens here. Elliot comes out with a big 7 mark. Now, I met Elliot for the first time earlier this year in Vegas. I absolutely love him. I love seeing him around. I've seen him a couple times since. Same thing, just always has positive energy, laughing, win or lose. You know, we're having fun, and that's what I like, you know, in the darts community. That's how I am. Whether I win or lose, I'm going to smile, I'm going to make a joke, I'm going to laugh, and just keep having fun. So They're coming off with a pretty good lead here. Now, I'm coming up here. I'm like, I have to just destroy these 19s right now. We have to get out of this funk of losing game 2. So I needed some 19s. I get a single. A single.
Here, and it doesn't look like it's going to happen now. So
wow, and I just completely whiffed. So you can see me laughing there. I'm laughing because it was a bad dart, but I'm also laughing too because I know Dustin's going to bust my balls when I get back and say something about the fact that it's game 2. But yeah, we're hugging back there, so I guarantee you we were making jokes about how this is game 2, and we just always find a way to just miss big in this game. So Elliot gets the big close there. So we need a lot of 18s here. And Dustin gets 2 18s. You can see he's laughing. I'm probably laughing back there. I can't see my face. I'm pointing at myself because I'm like, hey, I already got the first 2 mark. It's my fault for getting that 2 mark and then, you know, bringing that bad luck down to you. So Jeremy is going up at those 20s. So the thing with cricket on soft tip, just the strategy is so much different than a steel tip game. Now, it doesn't have to. You can use a soft tip strategy on steel tip. You can use a steel tip strategy on soft tip. But for the most part, soft tip, you want to establish a really good point lead. And now, yes, that's good to do that in steel tip too. But the difference is steel tip, it's harder to hit the target. So going for those hero darts is just, it's just a lot different. So you can see here, like, Elliot has the lead, but he still throws at the 20 with the first dart because that's just the strategy. And then he goes trip 18, trip 17. And once again, in my mind, I'm like, all right, this game is buried. 1, me and Dustin have been missing. 2, it's just that game 2 curse. Now, even though Dustin did get the point lead here, Holt and Byrne are still in commanding position because of the fact that, you know, they got 2 numbers on us, and just hitting the triples is easier. So let's see what Jeremy does here. So 2 singles.
Elliot yells out.
They got a 30-point lead.
Stay right there.
We went down to the 17s. He must have had that 20s blocked.
I'm
I'm thinking, hey, if I can get at least... I got to get like a 9 mark here. I'm staying on those 16s no matter what. Even if I trip at my first dart and I would get the point lead, I'm staying there.
For Georgeson, a big one there allows him to take
because we need a big point lead before we can try to close, since they have 2 numbers on us. Now, if they only had 1 number on us, I probably would have tried to close it, but... since they had 2, I had to try to... Yeah. Hey, see ya. The milkman took my dart, and he was about to throw it across the room. See, that's what I like. I like having fun throwing darts. And...
on YouTube.
he's going to go up there, and he's going to destroy those 20s. So, even though he had that point lead, once again, soft tip strategy, he's staying up there because they want to put this game away. And the more they get those points on us, you know, that's just more that we have to fight back. And with all these misses me and Dustin have had,
Happy to be in attendance.
Dustin gets a good recovery there. And he switched over and threw at those trip 15s. He had a couple darts like that where me standing behind him, you know, I have full trust and faith in whatever Dustin throws at. He could throw at any number he wants as long as it's not already closed by the other team. And I just assume, or not assume, but I just trust that it's going to be a good dart. So when Dustin throws at those numbers like that, I'm in full support of it. And it's also just a different way to throw to try to get the other team thinking. And here I am, completely choking it away. This has been the story of our game 2. Yeah, it's nice when you have a partner where they might throw some unorthodox darts, but it's like you're on the same page. So I like that because I also throw some unorthodox darts. And the last thing I want is to come back to my partner who's like, oh, you should have did this or done that. It's like, no, hey, you threw that dart. I'm happy you threw that dart. Like, I'm on board with it. I like it. I love the strategy there. And we are just getting absolutely crushed here. Once again, a good old game 2. And Jeremy gets a double close there. So the way it works going into game 3 in this kind of format is that there's a diddle. And in soft tip, you count the holes to the center of the center hole of the board. For those of you that are not familiar with soft tip. And the winner of the diddle, they get 2 options. They can either choose to go first, and then the other team gets to choose the game, or you get to choose the game, and then the other team gets to go first. So generally, if you win the cork, you're calling cricket. Or wait, no, you choose to go first, because going first you always have the advantage, and then usually the second team will call cricket, because cricket there's a better chance of fighting back going second. So I don't think Dustin lost any third game deciding corks here, and that was so big in this event, because being able to go first in the deciding leg, like I said, is so important. That's why the other team gets to go first, or gets to call the game, because you get the big time advantage of starting, which is why the other team gets the advantage of getting to choose the game, but still whoever goes first has the advantage. And me and Dustin are probably laughing right now because we're like, hey, typical night for us. We dominate the first leg, we shoot well, we shoot bad the leg 2 of cricket. And now Dustin wins the cork. We get to go first, and we play cricket. So let's see how this goes here.
Elliot told me he's going to go 3-1 split.
So we're going to start here. Now we're probably laughing, like I said, but
gotta split the round.
Game 3, we've been throwing solid game 3. And Dustin goes trip 20 his first start, single 20, trip 20. So it's so big to at least get that close on the 20s if you start, but it's also super important to get the close and also get some points. But if you don't get a close, you're basically giving that advantage that you had of going first straight over to the opponent, which is no good. So getting that first dart trip is so much stress relieved, and then Dustin was able to follow it with another trip to give us a little lead there. So Elliot gave us a big gift right there because they got the close but didn't get any points. So me coming up here, I'm like, I got to trip this 19. Single, single, single. So this is why Elliot missing getting any points was huge, because if he got points, I'm going to start up on those 20s, and then it's going to become somewhat of a point battle. But since he didn't get any points, I'm like, I got to go for those 19s and just close those, because then we're in the same exact situation as we were before I even went up to throw. We got one number and the point lead. So it's always bad wasting 3 darts to get a close. Or I shouldn't say bad, it's just annoying, because those of you that play soft tip, it's like in your mind, you're like, I should hit at least a triple every time I go up. But was able to get the close, and Jeremy gave us a big gift there with missing his 3 darts. But Dustin was not able to capitalize on it with only a 2 mark here. But a 2 mark is still decent, because when we get the point lead to go close those 18s, at least we don't have to hit a triple. So whenever one of us is able to throw it to 18 to close, we know we just have to hit a single, which is just comforting, I guess. And Elliot decided to go for the close there on 20s. And once again, thankfully, he missed, because now I know I just need a single 18. I don't even have to think about the triple. And I still managed to miss. Look at that. Now I got to go to those 20s and try to get some points here.
Yeah, big last there from
that is a big third dart.
Grabs a 60, extends it to a 1.
And man, missing that first dart. Sometimes the single number is the hardest number to hit. There's Jeremy missing his first dart and then redeeming himself, getting that big trip on that third dart. Excuse me. So if Dustin can get these 17s closed, we are going to be in a good position here. So once again, he gets it closed, goes up to those 20s. Now, if they didn't already have 2 marks on the 20s, I think Dustin probably goes 16s. But Elliot throwing at the 20s earlier and getting those 2 marks on the 20, they only need 120 to close it. And if they get some points, that could reverse the pressure on us. So even though Elliot didn't close the 20s when he went for him earlier, still getting those 2 marks is big. And, you know, it forced me and Dustin to throw at the 20s and point a couple times, as opposed to potentially working around the board and getting more closes.
Thinking about possibilities here. He elects just to go ahead and...
Yeah, so he went up there just to close those 20s. And now here I am coming up. It's like, I'm going those 16s. I have to close these. If I miss, Jeremy could light them up. And now they got a number and points, and now we could be in big trouble. But I closed on my first dart. That is a big stress relief. Now I got to get this trip. If I don't trip that 15, Jeremy comes up with the possibility of getting some points on there before we head to Bullseyes. But getting that trip, now we go to Bullseyes with that number. So we're feeling good, and we're probably back there laughing. 4.67. I don't know what our average was, our NPR, our second game. But like I said, this was typical of me and Dustin the whole day. So let's see. He gets it in 2. And that is it for the King Seat match. All right, guys. So, yeah, that's it. King Seat. So me and Dustin made the finals. So I'll upload the finals next week, where we play Chris Lim. I forgot his brother's name. Now I feel like a dummy for not looking at it before recording this. But the Lim brothers, sons of the legendary Paul Lim. So we'll get to that match next week, guys. That's it. Some videos should have popped up. Make sure you click them. Give them a look. Drop the video a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button before you go. USA Darts, follow them on Facebook and YouTube, as well as Booyah Darts. Check them out. That's it, guys. If you play some of those Booyah Cup qualifiers, you might see me on there, because I'm definitely going to play them and try to qualify for the finals in March. So that's it for this one, guys. I will see you all in the next one, and shoot well.